Hi people. So the internet has been plagued, as we all know, with this POA incel culture where these alphas make podcasts, tell you how to get women, tell you how you should treat a woman. It's all centered around that aspect of being a man. They also, the Andrew Tates of the world are gonna tell you what you should do individually as a man, but for the most part it kind of centers around women, and how you basically should just mistreat women and be misogynistic. We have discussed that, I discussed that in my Gamergate video. None of that is really new to any of us, okay? But you can see this idea of the alpha being reflected in other situations, other individuals, and it's not even exclusive to just PUA podcasts, although that is just what my mind thinks of when it comes to pop culture and internet culture. But this idea of being an alpha and what it means to be a man, and this particular image of it, has existed for a while. And incels, or innocent young men who just want to get a girl and don't know how or whatever, are susceptible to this message of the PUA podcasts and susceptible to this messaging of what they need to become to be a man, what they want to become, what they aspire to be, which is really unhealthy to be telling young men to be like this. Then it just creates this cycle of men in misogyny and all of this. But like I said, this is a mentality that has been around since the beginning of time. Since patriarchy was invented, men have been thinking that this is what it means to be an alpha. Of course, not all men think this way, okay? Especially when I think particularly to the way black men are raised. They're raised to be a particular type of man, and it's not always the most healthy image. Now, I can't really say that in like other cultures or whatever, because obviously I'm only black, but I just think of that image and how that's just it's not always the most healthiest image for men to grow up thinking that they want to be, and it emulates this POA mindset a lot. We're going to be talking about two examples of men who kind of reek of this messaging and the insecurity that oozes from these PUA podcasts and from that mindset. We're gonna be talking about Keke Palmer and her, are they still together? Her ex-boyfriend Darius Jackson, and then we're gonna be talking about the Jonah Hill situation. Two men who just reek of insecurity and don't know how to properly handle women or relationships. The Keke Palmer situation is she went to an Usher concert. Well, it's like the Usher residency in Las Vegas. I think he's had it for a while. And like he does with all the celebrities that come, they were, dancing and singing along. I really want to see if I can find the video. Oh, here we go. Okay. Now, in my opinion, it's really not much of anything. Let me go back to the beginning. It's really not much of anything, okay? They're just talking. She hugs him, okay? And then, they're dancing or whatever. She's feeling herself. She's singing along, To me, it's not really that big of a deal. A lot of people in the comments are even saying, bro, it's not that deep. And then also some like insane comments. But anyways, yeah, a lot of people are like, this is innocent. He could have addressed it before she left the house. There have also been some wild takes. Okay. There have also been wild takes, but first let me cover what Darius Jackson had to say that made this entire thing go haywire. So he addressed the issue on Twitter instead of talking to her directly. Let's look at the tweets. So this is a tweet that this is something he tweeted like later on after the original tweet, but we live in a generation where a man of a family doesn't want the wife and mother to his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case. So the first thing I want to address is, how is she showcasing her booty cheeks to please others? When in this video that we just watched, did it involve booty cheeks? And was she doing it to please other people? It seems like she probably just wanted to wear the outfit. And I think hyper focusing on that when all they're doing is singing with each other, you know, she probably knows Usher. She's freaking Keke Palmer. You know, they're being cordial, dancing, you know, like, how is this, how is this showcasing booty cheeks to I don't know, the pleasing others part just kind of bothers me, because how is she doing it to please others? Why does a woman wearing something she wants to wear about the male gaze or pleasing other people? Well, yeah, you're a hater because you're sitting at home. You're sitting at home and you're not there in Vegas and you're mad about it. Anyways, but this is the original tweet. It's the outfit though. You a mom. A lot of people are criticizing the fact that she was like dancing with Usher or whatever, but actually Darius Jackson never even actually mentions that, like, an issue with the fact that she was dancing with Usher. He says it's her outfit. That's, both of these tweets only reference the outfit. I don't even know that Usher was the issue at all. That's just what people picked out of it, but he never even says anything about Usher or her dancing with Usher. I don't know why people have such an issue with that, because he didn't even say that. But anyways, then I went on Twitter and found this out. Okay, like, what was it, like a couple weeks ago? And I was like, please no. I had to be subjected to these freaking idiots on Twitter saying the wildest stuff about the situation. Okay. I don't know why this man brought this to Twitter, but he did. And so now I will subject you to the same pain I had to go through. Okay, now this is good. I like this. Is anyone but me raising men to be feminists, or at least not defensive, insecure babies? Okay, and she references, or this person references, DDG, Jonah Hill, and Darius Jackson. Because DDG got mad at Halle Bailey for kissing in the Little Mermaid movie. Then of course we'll get to the Jonah Hill situation. And then Candace Owens had something to say. Jonah Hill is right, Keke Palmer is wrong. I agree, Keke needed to sit down somewhere. She just had a baby. I had 4 daughters and I already felt it was important to represent my girls and my family by being an example. How her and Sweetie acting lets y'all know women in real life understand bro's point about the Keke Palmer situation. Every woman understand why that man was really mad. They just chose not to care. Once again, he actually never addressed Usher and how close they were at all in any of the tweets, at least that I have seen. He only says that there was an issue with her outfit. So I don't know how people cherry picked that aspect of it. I guess they have a problem with it. And that's the thing with Twitter, is that people will take these situations and then personalize them and be like, oh, I wouldn't like the fact that she was dancing up on Usher. That's what I have an issue with. And so they even reference the part that he had an issue with, and they just make it like a personal issue. But that's Twitter for you. No, I agree with this comment. It lets you know the internet be ruining people's fun. It don't be like that. It don't be that serious. Y'all's mothers would have done worse back in the day while they were married to y'all's father. Okay, no, you get it. Okay, just having fun in Vegas. You're at home. doing that thing. So this is the way I see the whole thing. I wrote a take, but I don't know if it's correct because, like I said, he never addressed the Usher situation. People just picked that and then said, oh, I wouldn't like that, so now I have an issue with it, and that's the reason why Keke Palmer's wrong, without ever referencing the actual thing he had an issue with. So I guess I'll just take that part, because I was gonna say, oh, he's probably just you know, he's just a regular person compared to Usher. Maybe he's insecure about the stature of their relationship, how Keke Palmer has more stature than him. But I don't know if there's not enough evidence to say that, I don't think. I think because people were talking about that so much, it made me think that maybe he had an issue with that. But now reading the tweets, I'm like, he never even talked about that. So, but the thing that is an issue is the fact that referencing her outfits, well, first of all, the main issue, whatever, you can have an issue with Keke Palmer, that's your relationship. I didn't want to know this. I didn't want to know any of this information. You could have just kept this to yourself and Keke Palmer, but instead you went to Twitter. That's the main issue I have with it. Why are you on Twitter talking about it? Why does everyone else have to know this information? This is your personal relationship, and you went to Twitter about agreements you have with Keke Palmer? Why can't you just say something? So the main issue is you don't know how to freaking communicate. Is that she just had a child, okay? And for a lot of moms, you know, feeling comfortable in your body after you just had a child, postpartum depression, and all of that is a real thing. You know, women after they have children want to feel sexy again, feel good, and that's all Keke Palmer's doing, okay? And I don't really know that it's weird because it's like, do you really have an issue with what she's wearing? Because you have taken like videos of her twerking and like skin tight outfits. Like, I don't know, like, what, there's something probably lying underneath this, some deep insecurity lying underneath it. Maybe it was the fact that you weren't there, that you weren't in Vegas watching Usher. Maybe that was the issue. I don't know. I'm like, what's wrong with this man? But it definitely reeks of insecurity. The fact that you went to Twitter of all places with it, it shows that you were highly mentally ill. Because why are you posting on Twitter? And then you were talking about her outfit, and saying she's doing it to please others, whenever she's just wearing an outfit probably for herself to look good. Would you like for her to not look good? Like, I don't know what you want. That's all I got. That's my take, my revised take. Now for the Jonah Hill situation. Jonah Hill had an ex named Sarah Brady. She was a professional surfer, I believe, and model, and he knew that whenever he got with her. I guess the tides changed. I don't know what's wrong with these people. So let's look at the text. So she decided to post the text to like Instagram or whatever. So he says, respect however you want to live your life, you only get one. Sort of done with explaining myself. She says she tries to be like nice. Oh, 3 removed, not the video yet. It is my best surfing video. Would you feel better if I covered the frame? If the cover frame was different? Any more specific ones that bother you? You know, she's trying to be like, okay, I'll try and remove it or whatever. Yes, one that isn't of your, yeah, it's not a thong, it's a bathing suit, but okay. And then this is the main one. Plain and simple, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it. There will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic relationship. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. So even she's like, see the misuse of boundaries. He's using this thing we call therapy speak, where he uses things like boundaries, legitimize his demands of her. But these aren't boundaries. This is just telling her what the frick to do. Boundaries have to do with you and your relationship and what she's doing to you. You're just telling her how to act with herself, you know, like these aren't boundaries. Surfing with men. She's a surfer. Modeling. You knew she was a model. Like, some of these are just like to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. Now that's the one that reminds me like PUA podcast, because they're always like, oh, if you let your girl have an Instagram and she posts pictures of herself, she's a slut. You're dating a slut. And it's like, not only is she a surfer, but like, it's just I don't know, it's just a bathing suit. Like, this is what the frick she does professionally. So it doesn't make sense. And I think a lot of people saw that. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, Jonah Hill. This man just made like a documentary on Netflix, I believe, on therapy and like talking with his therapist or something and how it helped him so much. So I don't know if like, because they've been broken up for like, was it like 2 years now, maybe a year. He has already moved on, has another relationship. So I don't know if he learned after that relationship. Hopefully he learned about things in therapy, or if he was getting therapy at the time of his relationship with Sarah Brady and he was just using those words to legitimize, like I said, his demands of her and to be controlling and make it seem like he's not being outlandish, you know. So the big debate about Jonah Hill, though, that has been on Twitter, and I'm not sure I necessarily agree with it, is that he is like some serial abuser. I don't think, once again, I feel like this is just people jumping to conclusions. I don't necessarily, there's not enough evidence. He might be a serial abuser. He might do this to every single woman that he's in a relationship with. He might be doing this to the relationship he's in right now. I don't know. There's not enough evidence to tell me that, okay? So he might be, okay? But I feel like, once again, similarly to the Keke Palmer situation, it's just people putting their own issues with it onto other people and like drawing conclusions about things that haven't really been giving evidence. Is he manipulative? Is he controlling in these texts? Is he an insecure little baby? Yes. But it's also quite possible that I think it is possible to just be in relationships with certain people, and whatever it is about that relationship just draws out your insecurities. It's not necessarily Sarah Brady's fault, of course, but it's definitely him, and he should have a normal adult conversation with it instead of just going to being controlling. But I think it is quite possible to be in a relationship that makes you insecure, and so it just comes out like that with this particular person. But to me, it just looks like he's really insecure. You know, Jonah Hill isn't like the most in shape guy, you know. Maybe her being around surfer dudes, you know, he feels like he doesn't measure up. He probably has some underlying insecurities he's had all his life, you know. So I feel like it's more that, and him just not, once again, like with Darius Jackson, being able to communicate that properly with her. And so he just went to being controlling and manipulative, which is definitely a red flag, and definitely shows that if that's his instinct to go straight to being controlling and manipulative, that shows a sign that it is possible he does this with other people. I think that is a possibility, but I don't know. I think both of these situations and them being so close to each other, also with the DDG situation and him and Halle Bailey, I think it just shows that these insecurities these men have, it feels like it's almost, it shows a larger issue that I don't know if this is the right way to say this, but I feel like we've failed men. I think that we haven't really raised them correctly, and so now they just have these wrong ideas of what it means to be a good person, and there's a lot of them that just become insecure freaks in relationships, and they don't know how to handle themselves, and so they do things Jonah Hill does or that Darius Jackson does, you know? They're like super controlling, super insecure, and I think that's, like I said, just a failing of, we've just failed, you know? And once again, this is an argument I've made recently too, all the time. In my trans video, in my Asian Americans debate Vice video, marginalization doesn't just affect the minority, it affects everyone involved. The patriarchy has failed men too, and this is a great example of it. It's taught men to have this highly unhealthy image of what it means to be a man or just a good person in general. And so now they come out like this and they do things like this because they're not properly taught to be better, because they don't have to be, honestly. I just hate to see all of this, to see like these mentalities from like PUA podcasts and these like misogynistic ways and just fester. It just sucks for everybody involved, okay? Everybody in the relationship, it just sucks for everyone, okay? We need to stop this. And that's my take. Okay, bye.